Hello and welcome, everyone. Today, we are jumping headfirst into a really important part of any construction contract, the role of the employer. Now, I know contracts can sound a bit dry, but I promise you, we're going to make this so simple and clear. Let's get right into it. So, we're going to be decoding Clause 2, which is all about the employer. Our guide for this journey is the fantastic book by Michael D. Robinson on the FIDIC Red Book 2017. And here is my personal promise to you. We're going to break this down so simply that you could literally explain it to a 10-year-old. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Let's do this. All right, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll get to know the employer. Then, we'll talk about getting the keys to the site and the kind of support they need to give you. We'll even, take a peek inside their wallet. And then we'll finish up with a quick quiz and some key takeaways. Let's roll. So, first off, who exactly is the employer? Well, it's actually pretty simple. They're the client, the owner, the one who has the vision, and most importantly, the money for the project. Clause 2 of the FIDIC Red Book is basically their to-do list, outlining everything they have to do to make sure you, the contractor, can actually succeed. Okay, let's get down to business. Before you can build a single thing, you need a place to work, right? Of course, and that brings us to the employer's number one, most basic duty, giving you the right to access to the site. Right. You've just won this massive project, your team is all fired up and ready to go, but you can't even get your equipment on the property. You're stuck. This is exactly why the employer's first big job is so incredibly important. Now, this right of access isn't just someone unlocking a gate. The contract uses a much stronger word, possession. That means you get total control. It's your site to manage so you can get the work done. It's a formal handover, and it's an absolutely non-negotiable first step. And here's where it gets interesting. It's a two-way street. The employer doesn't just hand over the site on day one, no questions asked. They can wait until you've provided your performance security. Think of it like a security deposit. It's your guarantee that you're serious. It's a you show me yours, I'll show you mine kind of deal. And it protects everybody. And this whole handover process needs to be official. We're talking a formal, signed document, not just a handshake. You need to record the date, the time, and exactly what the site looks like. And get this, the book is super clear that this is the employer's job, not the engineer's. Oh, and keep your eyes peeled. If you show up and find that someone's been illegally dumping trash or there are still people living there, that is not your problem. That's on the employer to fix. So once you have the keys, is the employer's job done? Not even close. They have to provide continuous support throughout the entire project. Think of them less as just the clients and more as your partner in getting this thing built. This support basically comes in four main types. First, they've got to help you with all that annoying paperwork, permits, licenses, all of it. Second, they need to make sure their own team and any other contractors on site are playing nice with you. Teamwork. Third, they have to give you all the site data they have, the map for the project. And finally, if it's part of the deal, they have to supply any materials or equipment they promised. And this is exactly why that help is so important. As Michael D. Robinson points out, just imagine your critical equipment getting stuck in customs. That can completely destroy your cash flow, especially early on. So the employer's help here isn't just a nice to have. It can literally save the project's finances. All right, let's dive into the topic everyone thinks about but nobody likes to talk about. Money. Look, it can be awkward, but as the contractor, you absolutely have to know that the employer can actually afford to pay for the work you're about to do. And that's the big question, isn't it? What if the scope of the project suddenly doubles? Or what if payments start coming in late? Well, the good news is Subclause 2.4 gives you a tool to deal with exactly this. The contract lays out 3 clear triggers. If there's a single change that's more than 10% of the contract price, you can ask. If the total of all the changes goes over 30%, you can ask. And of course, if they're just plain late with a payment, you can definitely ask. Ask for what? For reasonable evidence that they have the financial arrangements in place to see the project through. And the best part? You're not left waiting and wondering forever. The contract is super specific. Once you make that formal request, a clock starts ticking. The employer has exactly 28 days to give you that proof. No wiggle room.
Okay, you guys have been awesome. Now it's time for a little pop quiz to make sure all these ideas are really sticking. Ready? Let's go.
First question. Who is the one person responsible for officially handing over the site to you, the contractor? Is it A, the engineer, B, the employer, or C, the government? Think about that formal handover we discussed. And question number 2, the employer has the right to hold off on giving you access to the site until they get one very important thing from you. Is it A, the first payment, B, a sunny weather forecast, or C, the performance security?
And the answers are B and C. For question 1, it is absolutely 100% the employer's duty to hand over the site. For question 2, they can totally wait for that performance security before they let you in. If you got those right, awesome job.
So let's wrap this all up. If you forget everything else, remember these 3 key things. 1, the employer's top job is giving you access to a clean, ready-to-go site. 2, they must actively help you with permits, data, and making sure everyone works together. And 3, you have the right to check their wallet if the project changes in a big way. All in all, Clause 2 is what sets the stage for the entire project. It's the foundation.
Wow, that was a whirlwind tour of the employer's world. But our journey through the FIDIC Red Book is far from over. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. We know what the employer is supposed to do. But who's the referee on the field? Who's there day in and day out, making the calls and making sure everyone is following the rulebook? You guessed it, next time we are tackling Clause 3 and the vital, absolutely critical role of the engineer. You are not going to want to miss that one, I promise you. Hey, if this explainer was useful for you, do me a favor and hit that like button. If it wasn't, feel free to hit dislike. That feedback really helps us get better. Please drop any questions or thoughts in the comments. I love reading them. And of course, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you're the first to know when our next explainer on the engineer drops. Thanks so much for watching.